Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skylines, where last episode wasn't actually an episode. Last episode we live streamed an episode, if that makes sense. Guys, what we should do right now is in the comment section, if you was here on the last live stream where I live streamed Foolsopolis and did a lot of expansion work, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you wasn't, don't worry, because I'm about to show you what happened, and trust me, it was very sus what happened on the stream. But it's brought me great ideas. We've tried things that we wouldn't have done before. We've built things I didn't even realize I was building. But it's going to be tons of inspiration of what we can do today. So as we continue the expansions, I just want to say, guys, if you haven't already, please smash that like button down below if you are enjoying the series so far. And make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. Now, to give you a breakdown of what we did last episode, bam, we are here right now. We kind of changed a few things up. We redid the whole kind of highway section over here. Now, yes, I know this does look a little bit sus. Okay, this does look a little bit sus, and I didn't realize it until everybody started to let me know after I built it on the live stream. But trust me, it's a great pair of binoculars. But anyway, how it works is we stuck a roundabout on this junction here. Well, created a junction, really, from what we currently got right now, because the industrial area was heavily overusing this junction and tearing down here, so we had to build a roundabout there. So what we've done is we created a four-way roundabout. Allows them to kind of get over to here and drive and whatever, but also that fourth connection that was going unutilized, we created like a really awkward trumpet. Now, I could have made it a lot more simplified, but I kind of wanted it to be very kind of symmetrical, also tear into the industrial and connect over, which is really good. It then allowed us then to kind of redo this little section up here. Now, the previous issue we had before was we had 3 lanes going in, but only really 2 directions. So what we've done, switched it all up a bit. We got 1 lane going out of the 3 lanes, with 1 lane going us over here, which I kind of inverted the other way around, so now it makes more sense that. But anyway, 1 lane going over there, the 2nd lane going over to here, and the 3rd lane we've now managed to create an extension to the highway, which will kind of slightly go in that direction. So we've unlocked this area a little bit more. Yes, I know it's suspect, but just go with it, okay? It is a work of beauty, and it's really reduced the amount of traffic, and now giving these guys a highway access, which is, again, freaking amazing. We've added a little roundabout here right now and some underpasses to kind of alleviate the traffic issues that we did have in this area. And what we've also done as well, we've now opened up and connected to this port for the first time with a couple of train lines. One goes directly out of the region. One kind of cuts in and connects up down to here and pretty much the rest of the train network, which is really good. But we tried something I would never have thought before. Now, ignore this little section because it is, again, a work in progress. But we've kind of funneled in a kind of train yard, which is dropping off cargo to almost, I won't say centralized, but kind of the inner area of the city. Which you can see a train now coming in. It will drop off a load of goods. So these guys are a little bit more connected to the cargo network than they once was before, which is quite efficient and quite handy, which has really then kind of started to spark my ideas and interest. Like, this is going to the best shoppers, which is pretty much over here. Before, the nearest cargo outlet would have either been the ships down here, or would have been over here with that train station, or over here for industrial or driving it. It just then reduces the amount of vehicles getting to over this area. Now, the reason it sparked my interest is because we also stuck another roundabout here. Now, for the longest time, we have been suffering for traffic coming down from this industrial area all the way down there, over down there. And even though we've kind of added in a roundabout, you can still see that it is a little bit overused right now. And the more and more we expand, the more vehicles we're going to start throwing on there. We did build this like alleviation road, if that's the correct way to put it. That is kind of heavily used as well. So I thought to myself, now that we've built this, what's wrong with us utilizing the train line around here to kind of pull in and have another little kind of train yard nearby? Again, to drop off some goods. Because the majority of these vehicles right now are trying to get to all the commercial areas around here and here and here. And if I can bring something in, it will kind of keep them away from this road, because this road's going to get a whole lot busier. Interesting, right? Interesting. But we also managed to expand over here to another kind of neighborhooded area. So things are looking pretty good for us right now. We've managed to get rid of the big canals that we once had for the sewage outlets. Got rid of them. Thank God. But we're going to see how things rock and roll. So what I want to do today then is I want to first kind of think about this. I also want to get this river coming down, connected back up to the canal system, getting this all connected too. Because at some point, and somebody mentioned it on the live stream, I want to take a look at the barges mod. I feel like this city, Foolsopolis, would kind of really benefit from the barges mod with all the canal systems and stuff like that. So we're going to see, guys. We're going to see what we can pretty much do in the long run. But anyway, I want to take a look at all of this right now. So I feel like I need to create something here. What it may be, I'm not 100% sure just yet. But I'm thinking I need to create a small little train yard. Now, we got a couple of lines that come off it are just pointless. They're more for the show. And I want to create something very similar over here. Now, if I manage to utilize from the train line here. So, say they come off this turn and they came round. And let's say we had a second line. And that then went underground. Pulled ourselves in, running parallel with this. Coming round here. And then we could do something around this section. But then I'll need to change how the road interacts here. So rather than it bend here and up, we maybe bring it down and then bend in. But then would I want a road to come down this way to connect to these guys? I probably will. So this is going to change everything right now about this area. So we are going to now... Oh, I think what we'll do, we'll kind of bend this down and do the junction connection a bit further down. That would be the better option. So if I come out by, let's say a 30 here. And then let's just go a 20 that way. And then a 20 this way. So the road coming in there and the road coming in there, I want it to connect to here instead. So if I delete back to about... Yes, I say there as you'll be able to go underneath it. Here we'll delete back all the way. So I'll bring... Is that a 10 already? That's a 9. Okay, we'll start again with this one. And then we'll bring this out by a 20 as well. Just kind of give us a decent enough space. We'll use that little connection tool. And we'll get you all set up right now. So we'll go for the maximum. So bring that down about there. That's pretty good by me. Now, this is not as mental as the other one, so it won't be so elaborate on the bend, but maybe that's where we do go a little bit elaborate. You know what? No, that should still work. Nice little wiggly bend as we're all coming through. We're going to have a little bit of different stuff going on from then just the standard uniform grid section. So why not? We'll roll with it. I mean, we'll probably end up sticking around about there. And then this here, we can then go down this way and have another kind of 4-lane road connection. So we're going to bring this out a little bit further. So we'll bring it out so far. So let's kind of bring it down to there. Then I think here... Would that be the one? Or do I create it here instead? Okay, if I utilize this road here, right, and, I mean, how much traffic are we seeing on this little section? Not too much. I would still like quite a handy amount of traffic coming in. Let me just delete that little section there. I think we're going to then, because I want to bring the train line in this way. Right, okay, if I delete you, we'll just set this up like this. Your generic system. Oh, no. Actually, better idea. Right, I know. I'm so indecisive right now. We'll do a 10 by 10 bend. We'll do a 10 by 10 bend. And then we'll stick a cargo train line just here. Wabam. That's how we're going to do it. So what I'll do, I want to kind of mimic how we designed the last one. Even though these two train lines here are going to be for nothing. It's just pretty much for show to make it look like we've actually created like a little train yard. That's solely all it's for. So I bring it in line with that road just there, then we've got no issues. So it's for the funsies, guys. It's all for the funsies right now. And then if I utilize the road a little bit more anyway, so there's going to be so far where we do bring it in. That is a 20... Is that a 28? What's going on here? 28? Oh yeah, because we've got that road, how that's spread out there. So you would say then by another 10, we then create the connection. And that whole distance there, 38-ish. It is what it is. See, that still doesn't feel right. With that road dragging through there. So if that road went across here, instead of this road being the connection, but then that road connects as over there, but then so does this. Oh, it's all tough decisions. So if I kept that one in, are they too close on the connections? But then that road there passes directly over, so then you would maybe want this one. Maybe this one, I can make it go underground and bypass the whole of this train station. So if you were like a vehicle just wanting to kind of skedaddle through here, you pretty much can. And that would lead me to this moment just there, which I'm hoping that is as parallel as you're going to get it. And then, right, delete back. So that is about a 10 away from this. There, so if I do another 6, the ish, 10 by 12, right. In my head, it's going to work out. Oh, that's not perfect. That doesn't align right. 20, 20, 10, and across. Right, now it should align right. Yes. Perfection. Perfection right now. So it literally is just to be like a bypass road. Which means I'll get rid of you, I'll get rid of you, and then the connection's there. So what I could do then is hope and pray to the baby Jesus that is a straight connection like that. This one, because that comes from this little section there, actually have this, if I come out by 20, be a bend in. So if I go to there where we do start to bend, there's perfectly fine. Right, once I've finished playing around with this jibber jabber, we can then get the train lines all in. So there to there. Again, I'm just looking for something a little bit different. You know what I mean? We've got some through roads on the go, which work out really handy and well. And everyone's none the wiser. We're bamboozling everybody right now. So, that's a 9. I don't even want it to be a 9. So, we'll come up by 10 just here. Hang on, what's that full distance? Up to there is a 40, so I can work with full distances. That's a 28. Right, let me scrap you. So, I can do a 10 by 40 and in. So we'll go this way, because obviously, and if I can, obviously we're trying to work with different, you know, designs and lengths and making sure everything all comes together, and also making sure that we reduce the amount of junctions on that road so we can maximize the amount of vehicles that use it, and we're not really going to get too much out of this. Unless we do go for like somewhat of a bend. So nice little bed there, creating a couple of little kind of angles and stuff like that. That slightly overshoots that slightly, all because of how we align it all up. Because that to there, that to there's a 40. So how do we go so? Oh no, it's all aligned to this station. That's what it is. That's what it is right now. So that kind of works. So. All traffic coming in. We got the that is literally just to bypass the train station. That's literally all it's for. And then we got roads coming straight down there to connect through. I mean, you could answer here to kind of connect through too. Right, we've got it working. Now, are you a straight connection up to there? You pretty much are. So if I drop you directly into there, that's a double connection. I don't think I feel like I want a double connection. Now, we'll keep that bypass completely off. It just makes sense. Right, okay, so we've got like a somewhat of a grid set up right now. I'm just kind of killing time, which I shouldn't be. We've now got to sort this out. So transport, train line. Let's get this all up and running. So I'm going to run it then 10 away from here. So it gives us room to kind of work with how I want the roads to progress over. If I'm creating a tunnel or a bridge, there's enough space there to kind of sort out the rest of the road. So from a 10 point away, which is obviously to there, I'll do 10 here. And we'll stick it to the main route, which to align there is a 39. So a 29 should then technically be 10 away, which I can do a 10 by 10 bend and connect in. Now, for the visuals, boys, for the visuals, I'll bring you in and a 5 and a 5 just for the visuals, even though they'll never use those lines. It's just, like I said, for the visuals. I then need to get this all connected. So we're going to make this go underground. Well, sunken is the best kind of term to pull it. And that will kind of come around. We'll make this here connect to that line. And that'd be the turn-off line, basically. That's how we'll kind of sort it all out. So I need to sync this. So if I just go here and we'll go down by -12. We'll anarchy it through. And then connect it just there. So we're going to have the whole of this sunken, by the way. Wait, hold on. I want it... No. No. Because I need to get this river running through. Now, I wanted to make the river kind of go right through here and kind of slightly under here-ish. So I can kill some of this space to connect over. And have that turn there and run parallel and kind of come in. But I want the river there. So we need to be elevated. Well, we're elevated there to a certain extent. We're elevated here for the bridge, which I'll probably bring a little bit further down. So in reality, I think I'm going to take it. I'll do it from there, so it gives that little connection there time to kind of press over. And the easiest way to do it is to set you to the same object height. We will then use the angled feature to get you all down to the same. Then from that point there to here, we'll gradually bring up. So we're going to elevate this road section right now. And I don't want the whole of it to be elevated. So again, if I quickly delete, and we'll go only so far with it. So 6, elevated up by 8, normal by there. Sweet, mate. Sweet. And then this is going to be the interesting section right now. So I'm going to have to elevate the train line up here. In reality. So I need also this train line here elevated too. So we'll go from this point right there. So all that's elevated because that's where the water's going to go underneath. Now, I'm going to kind of also need the bridge to be a little bit higher. So if I elevate you, you, and you. So they're almost at the same points. Now, this train line here is also going to be going over the top of all of these. So we know that is a 10. So if I go for a... Is a 20 too far in this section? Right, I'll do an 18 to go across there. Because I'm going to bring this up and bring the bridge up and then bring this up too. So if I work with that spacing just for now, bring you down, but then we're going to elevate you to here and then do the angles in just a moment, obviously. Now I also then want to have this here. Like that. Alright, where do we snap? A 19 and that is a 17. So I could do a 17 by 17 quick connection. And then we what we do then is we kill off you just to there real quick. Run you to there. Right. And then from there to there, make this nice and big. So that comes round to connect to this. Do you know what? That should have been a lot longer. Is that even going straight? Oh no, there's a little tiny bit there added on. So if I bring that by 21, because that there gives us the 10, so I need to connect it by an 11, but it wouldn't really work that much. So really a 5 is what I want, so quick math, I need to do a 6, then a 5. That's a 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 10 is 21. That gives me the spacing that I need. And then I use the connection tool. Your boy's trying to do mathematication right now, and this is not really going too well. There to there, which this should actually work out pretty well. There, yeah, we'll take that there. So like I said, that becomes the main route through. That's just the little turn-off area anyway, which is all good. And then we just got to sort out all the angles. So, la-di-da-di-da. Right, we're going to go from here to this node to that node there, yeah. And elevate. Which, all this doesn't need to be that madly elevated, but we'll go to here. Raise it up anyway. That can be on the ground, but I'll come back to that in just a moment. So, from here to, let's say, there. Right, it all changes different levels and angles, which I don't like. While it's doing here. So I'll do that to the point where it actually touches the ground, which is a better angle change. Then we'll select these 2 nodes, or 3 nodes, I should say, of the bridge. Align to the object height of the train section. Now, what we would want then is the 2 nodes here and here. Align them to the object height of that section just here, which should be perfectly high enough. But then we will need to use the sloping to go from here to here for all of it. Now this one's a little bit different because we do come down slightly. So if I go from there to there, I'd gradually dropping down, unless I choose it to be a little bit more harsh. Actually, I can get away with a little bit more. So, let's just say here. Right, how high can I rise it? Okay, that's probably as much as you want to go. Then here. Okay, we'll go to there. So then the angled of the slopes and whatnot from there will take place to here. So that raises that a bit more. Then there to there. Just sort that out a bit better. So all the angles and platforms and stuff are now changing. We will, one more time, just quickly upgrade there to there. Just so I can have this sloping down a bit better. Bam. Bam. Nice. So that's the train line taken care of, most importantly. Now we just got to do this road. Again, this road's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'm just going to make sure that we're doing the industrial road, because that's what we've got on this side, because it switches halfway through. And that's kind of the cool thing about this. So if I take it to there, then the normal style road, we're now going to have to get rid of that little section here. So if I just delete you, and then with the slope from there to there, gradually goes up. From there to there, gradually goes up. Now we're passing all through because, again, we're going to have a river going all through under this. So this is why it's kind of low-key important. So if I just quickly now smoothing out some of these edges, and then we're officially... Are we officially good to go? I'm hoping so. So we've got to sort out some of the... Yeah, I'm happy with kind of how that is. I mean, eventually it's all going to be a built-up area. But it should work wonders for us now. So that's all good to go. That's now become the main route's tearing ground. I know it's so long-winded, but it's so we can attach to this little section too. Goes up and round, stops there. So it shouldn't be too much drama, too many issues, he says, but you just never know. This is now sunken down, so these roads can just go straight across as normal. So we get back into play mode. Cars are getting scattered all over the place right now because they don't even know what's going down anymore. We have a junction just there. We've been so close to that. Would that be issues with us in the long run for traffic? I don't know. Maybe get rid of the traffic lights is a good option first. And then see what comes from within it. We'll see what happens. But anyway, we can now get connected to that. So I'm hoping where they're driving from here down to over here, they might utilize jumping onto the train here, which would eventually go around and connect down to there, or go over to there and connect down to here. Just so then the driving route comes from both sides of these roads, which would kind of pass through. Again, that's what we're kind of hoping for. And we'll just kind of see what happens. We'll just kind of see what happens. Now, I want to get the canal system running down a little bit further. So what I'll do is we'll get the big, deep, sunken, wide one. Because I only want it to run so far down the canal. So if I choose you and bring you to about, 150. So we're going to create like a little bit of a bend here. And then it's going to kind of slightly bend in to where the river is then going to kind of pile around this way. But this is our man-made canal to kind of get us all connected. That's pretty much how it all works. So the river itself, you have the natural river and then you had the man-made section, which is us with the canals. If I just bring the brush size down and select you as a height, it's going to run like this. So if I do like a very, very rough design, very, very rough design. So we'll have to elevate that little section, which again is not a problem. It's going to basically come through here, under, and then to over there. That's how we want the river to kind of go. Now this is all kind of elevated anyway, so I could kind of clip a little bit through. You know what I mean? And then that here is just going to connect as normal. This will kind of just come down and just pass through. And then we'll create like a little bit of a pond around this little section. But that's where our man-made canal connects. And we'll just kind of create like a nice wide berth on the bend. Now, where do I end this? So I think I'm going to come down to here and just create somewhat of a little bit of a pond. Around about there somewhere. So let's try and fine-tune this a little bit more. So got to make it kind of look semi-natural. So it comes in. I don't want to press play just yet and then start it all happening. And if I really bring the brush size down, well, I'm going to have like a little bit of a section there where it kind of misses out on a bit. And then do the same just here. So have like a little bit of land either side as it kind of slightly swipes. And I feel like we should, you know, as it comes off that bit, get it to go around just here as well. But there, I'm going to kind of make it a little bit saggier. Not the correct words to be using, but hey-ho. As the river flows through and round. So if I elevate then the train line here, I don't know whether this will eventually be higher than the river as more of a bridge than an elevation. I don't know. I've just killed that train as well. But that's how we'll kind of see it. And then spread that through as it gets into there. So it would be kind of nice as well. It would be kind of nice. We are yet to see a train go over to there, but I don't think it will be too long before we do see it. So it splashes through there, pushes out, and then hits that, and then goes in. Whereas if you're hitting this barrier here, you're going down here, round, coming up, and you're hitting into that barrier. This is bam, straight to there, through there, into there, and you're in. So we got a bunch of different ways in which we can kind of approach with the waterfront. So the canal itself then, I don't know how this is going to fully play. So it will be just like that. It's literally a man-made canal. It comes out, you know, 90-degree angles on it. Because that's how canals work. And then here, bringing that back. I know I can use the connection tool anyway. Or maybe I should use the connection tool. Alright, if I delete there to there. And then swinging that round. That will do its thing for us. Still no trains. Oh, there we go. First train coming in hot and heavy. Oh, two. You wait all this time and then two trains come at once. Again, give that some time. I mean, we'll really start to see the difference. So every vehicle that uses this is one less one using this, unless they're coming out to then drive down here and go around the roundabout. But, you know, I don't want to get triggered too much by that. Now, this road here is just going to be elevated for now. Again, this is another type of road where I don't know what I'm truly going to be doing with it. But if I elevate it just to there, it will then just pass over my canal system normally. So, the canal side of it right then, if I literally just, with the under key on, get you connected, it will just pass through and that just drives over the top of it as normal. So let the water kind of, it will cause flooding. So we might as well now break those barriers and get this all in. Breaking those barriers created the flood walls, well, breaking the flood walls I should say. And here we go. So we do have to kind of smoothen slightly, so I'll bring the brush strength down and we'll just kind of run it nicely through on some of the edges, and then it gives us chance then to the point where we can then start planting down some beautiful trees. So I won't do it on the little islands that I've created. I'll just go around all the edges for now. Again, a very, very low strength on the brush. That will just kind of sort us out nicely. There we go. So it'll take a while before the water to kind of clash together. They'll probably connect more around to this section, as that's got to go all the way around and bend. That's got to funnel all the way through. But we'll see how this area comes together slowly. Hope that is not going to be, no, that shouldn't be an issue there. It should be fine. But you just never know at this, you know, on this game. You just never know at times. Right then, so anyone else want to use this area? again, if I start then building commercial around here, we got a really good point to drop the cargo to. So it does work out fairly well. It's like this one. I thought this is going to be really overly used, but it just complements the network. That's pretty much what it does. It just complements the network. So what I could do now then is I could do a little bit of zoning, but I want to get some more of this stuff in. So if I, because we're about like we're a 12. Actually, we're a 12 away, aren't we? So if I do a 10 by 8, and then a 10 there down by another 8 again-ish. Right, that gets me around to this side. And we're about a 17 away. But if I do a 7 by 7 bend, there's a different style of zoning would then come across on this side. But it allows me to kind of access this area a bit more. And also maybe have a connection here somewhere that won't really affect the flow too much. So what I could maybe come in from here by 10, bringing you down. So in reality, I could also do it like this. 8. Oh, it's difficult to do, isn't it? So I know that to there's a 29. So if I do a 21, 8 by 8 in the bend, wiggles round and through. But what it allows you to do, and we'll use the kind of like this style. And we'll maybe go up by 10. Come on, we should be able to snap onto that. Oh. Ah! 10 by 10. And then we'll just kind of take it to here. And it will allow me then to also pull out of here. Or what I should try and do first is go for your standard 10 by 10 bend there. So run that to there. There we go. So we get these little areas that we can kind of place down. Maybe some industrial, who knows? But again, accessible. And it doesn't become like a shortcut route. Maybe it could do. I don't know, but eventually just fills it all up. So the water's tearing through then. We actually might connect in the canal line than actual through here, which will be good. Because I'd rather have the overspill happen in the canal than around here too much right now. But that's really starting to create a water flow, which is interesting. Once the water's all kind of settled, we'll come back to these little kind of miniature islands and then we'll kind of play around with them. I might create a couple of little water inlets to make this like a little bit of like a swamp marsh kind of area. But this could work out pretty well. So we still do have the demand of the vehicles going back and forth. But what it enables us to do right now is like I can now, because we got a commercial demand, I can now start to place down more commercial around these areas. Especially around this side where we have the passenger section. So if I squeeze you in, squeeze all this in right now. Oh, hold on. The old town. Because that is the same kind of style of road. Alright, delete you. That could literally be squeezed in there. It's that really, really tiny, skinny. Did that connect? Oh, it's not a road, is it? I always forget it's not a road. But like an Anakia road through it. For it to be used like a road. So we actually get to then see vehicles drive through it rather than just pedestrians walking up and down. Aha! And then surrounded by high density commercial. Like it truly is the old town. But But we get this nice big pocket right now of commercial, which will obviously be utilised by all of this, of the industrial export-import area. Do some offices as well, because obviously you want to make it look a workforce section. And do it up to there. And I'll leave that space kind of open for now. But that is a huge little section right now that we can kind of work with. They'll utilise the road driving in, but also the train line for the bulkier stuff. Interesting. Right, we'll see how that kind of ticks along anyway. So the water's now dipping into the canal system, so that they're now officially meeting. So the backslash should happen within the canal itself. Very good. Very good, boys. Up to 180,000 population. So spending that commercial demand that we do have, that will then kind of spark a little bit more industrial demand. It will spark definitely some more residential demands right now. I just can't wait to beautify this area a bit more. I really can't. So, right. Warehouses. Let's take a look at warehouses right now. So, the commercial goods. Large warehouses. I mean, I could definitely squeeze some in. Where's the other one? Just over here, isn't it? Which is the one that kind of fits in within all this? It's that one, isn't it? So I could maybe squeeze a couple of these bad boys in. Or do I go for a full large one here? Yes. So big warehouse there, so nearby the export area, and it would literally be storing in just commercial goods for the commercial areas nearby. Again, give us that localized central point. And then do something very similar over here. But here you're a bit more kind of closed off to the spacing. You could work with what we've got right now with this kind of spacing. But do I want one of the big boy warehouses is the question. Yeah, I mean, you kind of would want one. But it comes down to where'd you pull it? I mean, I could pull it right there and then just get rid of this. Actually, how big is it? How big is it? Right, okay, better idea. Still somewhat able to keep that in. But we changed the road of it. So if I bring the road up to there, I'm going to say the 13 mark. Is the 13 the right mark? No. We're probably looking about a 15, aren't we? What's going on? Let me delete the road. Right, again. So, 15. So the road's very close to that. I get it. But it kind of needs to be, doesn't it? By the size of it. But I don't want it to connect to that road, because obviously they're driving up and over to go in this way. To connect to that road, it's so long-winded to get to this area. But it's just kind of slightly out the way enough that it doesn't cause us too much of an issue. Commercial goods nearby. And then what you can do is then build like a little fence around it. But I won't do it just yet because I don't know how I'm going to finish the whole area off pretty much. Train coming in again. Good to see. Now, would it be worth connecting these up to this? I don't think it would. Yeah. Right, and so we might see some traffic happen now as they start to fill up the warehouses with stuff, but commercial goods nearby, more localized than literally driving it all the way over, could be a big help. Really could be a big help right now. So we are starting to transform this little intersection. Water-wise, anyway, so they're kind of merging and clashing around this bit because that's the highest point at the moment. Water's coming through a lot more regularly right now and slowly starting to fill that little bit of a basin up. Again, very interesting to see. So we now have a fully connected loop from this inlet and outlet and that inlet and outlet there. You can now kind of go all the way around and somewhat get connected. So that's where the barges mod's going to come into play. And that's going to be really, really handy for us because then we can transfer goods pretty much all over the place. So where I'm creating is like little inlets of cargo area. Imagine I did something very similar, but like a little harbour dock using the barges mod. I've got to definitely look into it a bit more, because I've got the mod, I've just never ever used it. So it will be interesting. So this should now slowly start to become more used. Actually, are we even using it? Did we actually connect the stop to it? We didn't connect anybody to it, did we? No. So let's get this now all connected. So from there directly to there in a straight line, which will then connect us to the end of this. And then we're all fully connected. So you to there, obviously the other end of it. And then we'll just go a little bit bigger on the bend. Bam. And then we can now officially have that loop. So that comes down to there, into there, up to there, there. And then it pretty much goes back on itself, doesn't it? So what we got to do then is we got to kill off the stop on the other side. Then we create another run, but going the opposite way round. So having that to there, kill that off to there. So now we've got that loop going around. The only thing we're missing is a stop here. And then starting here, we then do another line, but it's on the opposite side of the tracks. And that gets everybody all connected up again. I didn't realise I didn't get that connected, to be honest with you. Right, to there. And it stops just there. And then it completes the run here. So then we have an additional 2 loops within our public transport network. How glorious is that right now? That's really cool, isn't it? So here right now, it's becoming quite a little transfer hub, this whole little section. But we do need to then start thinking about how we can transfer the majority of these. Because at the minute, to get to this line or the tram line or this metro line here, you're all transferring over here to get to where you want to get to. Or there, to be honest with you, they both kind of crisscross. Oh no, that's to transfer to other lines. That one there. Oh, they crisscross over here with the buses. Yeah. So we do have to start thinking about other stuff anyway. But it's pretty cool. So there you go. All the vehicles now making their way to the big warehouse because they want to store all the goods locally. So like I said, you're going to see the initial traffic first before it does die down. This one's got 1% full. This one right now has got 3%. And obviously that traffic's going to get a lot worse as time goes on. Right, this is now starting to become a little bit more filled, which is really, really good to see. I'm quite happy with the fact that we didn't see any overspills. I think because it perfectly merged inside of the canal is where we didn't see any big overspills happen. So, happy about that. Right, okay, so we're going to extend the little painting network right now with the little bit of gravel that we do have. So, straight foot, brush size right down. Bit too much on the brush size. There we go. Pushing through the middle. To there. We'll do the same on this run. So I've gone way too far already. Too far over, I should say. And then we'll do a little bit of a V. So I think it just adds that additional touch when you're seeing the train lines with like the gravel underneath it. I really feel like it does. And then we'll do the same thing over in the little depot section just here. There we go. Bring that bit more down. It does look a lot better, doesn't it? I think it does anyway. Oh, and just here too. Just adds that little finishing touch, doesn't it? I will extend it further down, but again, I just don't 100% know what I'm doing with this area anyway. So it's all slowly coming together. We'll add a little bit of tree extension right now until we know what the rest of the road layout's going to be like. A little bit of a tree extension just on the sides. Trees all die off anyway around the industrial area, but we'll throw a couple down. There we go. Bring it under here. Through all that little section. I don't fully know how or what I'm going to do with the rest of this area, so I'll just kind of go around the edges with the trees, and I'm sure we'll figure something out. That's going to look pretty nice, isn't it? Having the trees either side of the train tracks as they're tearing down, knowing there's water on the other side. It's going to look glorious, mate. Glorious, I tell thee. Pretty good. Okay, I'm happy with how this is now kind of going. So, with all the dramaticness of bringing all the cargo over, and they're 64% full. Again, pretty amazing. I'm noticing that all the trains that do come over here right now tend to be 100% full. Which is fairly interesting. And we're starting to see more cargo on these lines. So that's the thing. That's why there is another reason why we need to get the barges mod up and running. Because I can't rely heavily on just trains delivering the goods around the city. As cool as that is. Because my lines are going to get so overloaded. They really are. They're going to get so overloaded. But I think it does kind of help us out. Now, I'm not going to say that it's kind of reduced the amount of traffic. Because we still have quite a bit of traffic. Don't get me wrong. But once we have the barges kind of all up and running, I can bring a canal back down here again. Have some barges connected to it. And they can get in all the little nooks and crannies that the train lines can't. And deliver to some areas pretty easily. Again, I've got to research it. I could just be talking absolute dribble. But we'll see as time goes on. But interesting developments, right? I think there's some very, very interesting developments now taking place. Population has seen a little bit of a dip, unfortunately, but now we're starting to get that commercial demand and industrial demand spent. Residential demand is slowly now increasing, which you all know what happens when the residential demand increases. If I get English, your boy goes expansion crazy. Yes. So I feel like we do need a couple more roads that kind of tick along and over. But this road's now gone out of the question with all this. I think that's going to kind of come down and bend. Maybe pass over there and eventually probably connect to what this bends around to. But then again, so will that. That will always come down and connect to this like a little T-junction. And that passes over to connect to the end of this. That's probably what that's going to do right now. What is my unemployment like? It is 3% unemployed. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Definitely going to be able to work on that. Definitely need to work on it. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to end it for here anyway. I hope you did enjoy this episode. This little area right now, there are 409 people using that station, and we finally got it connected. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section down below. But I think we got some very, very exciting progression happening as time goes on. There's another half-decent full train unloaded over on this section right now. Another full train coming in. Again, it's what I like to see. It's what I like to see. This loop is all holding up. Pretty good, pretty good. And even though there's a lot of traffic on these roads, there's no jams. They do eventually get all the vehicles to flow through. But, like I said, we'll just kind of see how it all ticks along. Hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So, good. Bye.